Hi guys. We're back with our blue portion of the Million Live cast, and let's get straight to it with this first All Stars card, Chihaya Kisaragi, Singing in the Evening Sun. 329k, gets 500 for every other music character, so it's 11k. On play heal, and pitch 2 cards when this card attacks with the pants in the climax zone to deal X damage to your opponent, and X is the number of climax cards in your waiting room. First things first, this cost is actually quite good for this kind of finisher. Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Because you're paying out stock anyways, so like any climax is your stock, and then you get to control like how many climaxes you mean your bin. Especially if you happen to trigger, especially if like if you're like triggering pants like beforehand, I think it's like pretty good too. That said, if this seems a little lackluster to you compared to the Kotoha, you would not be incorrect.
This is like lackluster compared to.
Yeah, and also it does not pair very well with the 3-7 event, I'm afraid, because that hand extra card you ditch is honestly very relevant. You don't really make it's like, and the reason why is because making back cards in hand is honestly usually up to triggers during the battle phase, whereas stock is you generate during the battle phase. So unfortunately, I don't know, this doesn't synergize very well with the premier card of the set. So
yes, well,
it's still a fine card though.
It can also be played in OGM.
Yeah.
But
it's not the best finisher you could run for All Stars either. So, but this is just still like a solid card.
It's like a healing finisher.
Yeah, still a solid card.
But, but like, I just think it's generally outclassed.
Yeah. 002k power, Takane Shijo, once during a journey. When you trigger check a climax card, if it has 2 soul triggers, you can ditch a music character to check the top 2 cards of your deck. Choose one of them, put it in your hand, and put the rest in the waiting room. Then tap to search Brainstorm.
I wonder.
I really
in like OG IMS
no.
with 8 stock soul.
No. Miki is still better. I really hate these climax trigger effects that don't deal with the climax in your stock.
Yeah.
In some way. Yeah.
If this was pay 1.
Pay 1 plus?
Card from top 2. Yeah.
Pay 1 plus? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still a Brainstorm though. With like a decent secondary effect. It's not bad. It's just like, kind of disappointing. Yeah, if you play 2 soul trigger climaxes, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, it's still just a kind of a slightly disappointing payoff for triggering climaxes. And there's not much. Cool. Yeah, not much else to say about it though. 1-0 Ritsuko Akizuki in Wonderland. 400 power. It's a 6k if you have experience 2 or higher.
Oh, exciting.
Next card. Iori Minase, Powerful Goddess. 2k assist to level 3 or higher characters in front, and you can pay 1 ditch climax on play to choose a climax in your bin and add a to your hand. This is like okay. It's like a solid secondary effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fine. Like, I think I'll just even give it a C+. It's like a pretty decent like secondary effect.
The thing is, like, Kotoha actually has like better or a support that works with her better.
Yeah, but this gets a climax, dude.
Yes.
That's it. I think I generally. Well, I mean, this gives more power too than the.
Sure. The 500 power is probably not relevant.
Yeah, it's probably not, but it's like a thing. This gets you a climax too. I think it's like fine. It's good enough to play. For sure. Ritsuko Akizuki.
Are you playing this?
Me? No.
Yeah.
Ritsuko Akizuki, tightly supportive. 001K. On reverse, pay 1, put this into your clock to check the top 2 cards of your. Check the top 2 cards of your deck and add 1 to hand, and put the rest in the bin.
Sitting Maya.
Sitting Maya.
I like this.
It's like fine. It's like okay.
It's like kind of 2014.
I think it's better than the Hinata. Probably.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think it's definitely better than Hinata, honestly. Boring card. Not much else to say. It's like it's a cheap plus, but you know it's not that great because it's on reverse. 1-0 Chihaya Kisaragi, Aloof Diva. It's a Shimakaze Kai in that it pumps power on attack for 500 times the amount of other music characters you have. You know,
I have no idea why this was the most expensive foil.
This dude, she's popular character. This is in the same set as the Yukio Runner. Boggles my mind.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's not very good.
I don't know. This card, I never put this card into any of my decks.
Someone's putting it into their decks.
Yeah.
2-1 Takane Shijo, Noble Princess. 7k. On attack, if that... Reveal the top card of your deck if it's a music character. This gains 4k for the turn. And then it has the same like pay 1 rest effect if you at the beginning of the encore step. If you have no other rested characters in the front row.
I
mediocre.
just don't see where this what the purpose.
I mean, it's like a funny standby target, I guess. But apart from that, generally not a great reason to play this, especially since the power is like very inconsistent.
2-2-9-5 Chihaya, but bought out when the standby goes spoiled.
I mean, they didn't know this card existed, though. Come on.
Well, yeah, but just in general, funny that like old bad 2-2s get bought out when new sets get announced. Same thing happened through Fate, by the way, and Fate didn't get a standby.
On
people
to
were just
the
speculating.
Final batch of Million Stars cards. Megumi Tokoro, Shy Wedding. When this goes from the stage to the bin, you can clock a card from your hand to search your deck for a music character. Add to it. And this is a ditch bond for the 3-2 Kotoa.
So we can see more support for the 3-2.
Always a solid, I think it's always like solid to have this kind of effect to like a very good finisher.
Yeah.
So the first effect is kind of awkward. It's like very situationally good, I think. Unlike the on play variant.
If you open it.
Yes, it's obviously very good if you open it. It's like a very good.
You don't really want to run. So
yeah, you don't really want to run that many.
That often.
Yeah, that's like the awkward part of this card.
Yeah.
The on play variant is actually very good. I think the on play variant of this effect
I would run for it.
Is amazing. It's honestly amazing. Seriously. Saving the stock is like amazing, but I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. It's so good. It's so good. Saving that stock is so huge. Lets you brainstorm more often. It just lets you do a lot more stuff. But as it is, it's like a fine card. Just solid.
Yeah. If you run Kotoha, run like 1 or 2 of this.
Next card. Mizuki Makabe, Christmas Gift. Pay 1, rest a character to stay in this card. And then it's a tap self, search Brainstorm. So the first effect is cute, but not like, game breaking or even game changing.
Usually not relevant, but sometimes it comes up.
It's cool if like sometimes you just like sometimes you brainstorm again with this card. Sometimes the brainstorm hit changes what you want to attack with that turn, so you can back row something that's important. Rest that and then attack with this.
Sometimes you can just pay out a climax.
Yeah, sometimes it's a climax style, but it's a very really weird effect, and it's not like entirely too like usable
we
in
haven't
like
seen
most
anything
situations.
like this.
Yeah, no, we have. I think we have.
I don't think so.
I think we've seen this exact effect a few times. I'm pretty sure. They just haven't been put on brainstorms. I'm pretty sure that this effect is not new, dude.
Like I know that there were things that arrested it stand up, but
no, they're just not on brainstorms.
Yeah.
What did I give the
Megami? Brainstorm with like small upside. I think this effect is better than like 500%.
I gave the Umi A-. I'll give it a B+.
Yeah, that seems fine. Man, rating Brainstorm so highly. When everybody gets them.
1-0, Rio Momose, Temptation Technique. Character opposite this gains 2 stock Encore, and then when you use a startup, this gains on reverse stock chart at the top card of your deck. And it obviously only activates once per turn. This is like fine.
I like this card, but it's.
I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's very good tapped synergy. Or act synergy with this card. Yeah, which is not like the best, I think.
There's the 1-0 Kotoha. The 0-0 Kotoha.
Dude, imagine if this were level 0. Like getting -1 level on stage instead of this Encore effect.
Yeah, that would be better. Holy. I'd actually play that card like at like 2.
Maybe.
Probably.
0-0 Shizuka Mogami, the stage I made. This ability activates up to once per turn. When you play an event, you can pump a character 1k, and then pay 1, tap this card to reveal the top card of your deck. And if it's a music character or an event card, you add it to your hand. So, this is a card. This is a card that usually sucks, I think. But the Tamaki makes it a lot better. Go figure.
By the way, one more thing about the why this card is worse than in some other sets, not only because of the startup, it's the blue is the worst color of them.
Sure, yeah, that's also true, I think. Back to the Shizuka though. This card becomes a lot better with Tamaki. But outside of Tamaki, it's just like not very good.
It's whatever.
Yeah, it's a solid card. I think I want to give this like a C+ or something. The 1k power is actually pretty sick with standby. I mean, no, not standby. Flower stand. It's late. Sorry.
Yeah.
Flower stand. Yeah. It's quite a bit of power, which is nice. Yeah. Cheap plus that is made a lot better by Tamaki. Ayumu Maihama, full power stage. On play, it's a top check filter. So, no. On play, you reveal a top card. If it's a music character, this card can side attack without soul penalty for the turn.
Yes.
And then it's a bottom deck. Level 0 bottom deck.
Level 0 bottom deck bomb.
Bombs. For a bomb, it's like fine. I like this. I usually like this side attack without soul penalty thing. Would I run this card because of this effect? No. It is solid blue fix if you need it.
Just run more brainstorms. Or like the real anything really. There's like a bunch. Like blue is the worst color, but there's still a bunch of good blue cards. So you don't need to run this ever.
Yeah, but it's fine. Roko, hello, New Age. When you use a startup, you can choose one of your characters, give it 1k power for the turn, and then when you play a climax, give 1k power to something. This is like fine. It's like whatever. Neither of these effects are
there's
very.
There's like a good startup deck somewhere, but it's like worse than the other decks.
Because you're only getting power and stock out of these, like startups.
Yeah.
It's a Mina. It's using the Minako. I'm pretty sure they're like all in the same unit, I believe. But it's not that great. 0-0 Subaru Nagayoshi Heartbeat Theme Park. 0-0. It's a 1k power card. On play, ditch a card to the bin to reveal the top card of your deck, and then salvage character with level X or lower. And the X is going to be the level of the revealed card. Climax card is level 0.
Yeah. So you can always salvage level 2.
They have gone from making Mirai Ticket Rico to making on-play versions of her effect that you could use every turn. I don't think this card's very good. It is better with Tamaki, obviously. But the payoff is like not that great. Right? Because you're committing this card to attack with. And it's 1k power. And you already have a 2k power Tamaki that you're attacking with that turn.
Yeah, I didn't put this in my Tamaki decks. I run one, I think. Because like I wanted more ditch out.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I'm not sure if this is better than ditch salvage or the CX ditch salvage is better.
I really don't like this card.
This is blue, which is relevant.
Yeah, it's blue. Ugh. Sure. It's just a costless ditch card. Ditch out. That'll like maybe get you a card that you want.
As soon you'll generally get a 0.
Yeah. 0/0 Chizuru Nikaido, horseback riding knowledge. This is 4K level 1 if you have 2 or more other music characters.
3/5
level 1. It's like okay. Solid. I think it's solid. Just like a...
Okay. But why play this when there's a clean cut?
It's like fine.
I don't remember if I gave like a D or plus, but the 4K that's the same rating.
Sure. Sumugi Shiraishi, moving towards Dream, 1/0 4500 power. When you use a startup, this card gains 1k power and hexproof. Oh no, sorry, can't be reversed by auto abilities for the turn.
Yeah.
And then when this reverses a card with the book in the climbing zone, you search for a music character. This is, there's definitely a startup deck here.
By the way, you don't play this card because of this card. You play this card because this climax also combos on it.
Yeah, there is another card this combos with.
Yeah. Which is why this has like why you can think about this.
Yeah.
But generally, I wouldn't play this with Kotoha, for example, because this obviously becomes a field-based strategy, and I think playing for field-based strategies when you have an first deck is always kind of it just makes it that much easier for.
I mean, what? I mean, you don't have to counter if it's not good for you to counter.
No, they can just run in.
No, they can't. Not against this card, right? This is like small as fuck.
Well, the 2/1, right?
Okay, sure. Like specifically this card, it's like, it's whatever.
I mean, this card probably doesn't stick around late level 2, but the 2/1 obviously will, because that's what it's designed for, to be like this big card that walls off.
Sure. I mean, that card isn't even that big either.
Well, it's like 7/5 if you don't use a startup, which means they can.
I mean, it's big enough that you can like have it play for board, but you can also like, I feel like you could crash it into like some things. It's like fine. It's totally fine. But I mean, we'll talk about that when we get to that card. Tomoka Tenkubashi, special time. Oh, oops. Tap this to stock a music character from your bin, and it's a pay 1, ditch 2 brainstorm to you mill 4, and for every music character you hit, choose a level 0 lower character in your bin and play them into separate slots on the stage, and they get love for the turn. You do not know this character for you to like say stuff like that.
No, she calls them piglets.
This is a weird character.
And she's like the savior.
It's like a fucking religion. It's like really weird.
Yes, and she has like 7 commands or something, or 10 commands. I don't know.
There's like commandments, yeah, that are fan base created. It's like fucking weird, dude. It's very strange. Anyways, this is a very solid card.
This character.
This fucking stupid character. Very solid card. Obviously gets way better in decks with standby because you have the other possibility of getting this out at level 1. Yeah.
By the way, don't confuse that with like the fact that playing a standby at level 1 to get this out sucks. But if you trigger it, it's
yeah. But I'm talking about triggering it, obviously.
Yeah.
Still
just a way to get extra stock.
Yeah, you need at least 2 turns though for this to give you surplus stock. Otherwise, it's like a convenient stock out, I guess.
Well, but the fact is, like, if you play this down, the next turn you have 1 more to work. So it's
what? This only gives you what? The turn you play this card, you are not going plus on stock.
Yeah. The turn you play, but like the turn after, you already.
So you need at least 2 turns.
Yeah.
Or this is on the board. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. It's a fine card. Gives you extra stock. I think the applications are pretty obvious.
And Brainstorm is interesting, weird, and
the Brainstorm.
Very useful.
It's like it's cool because you like turn unplayables in your hand into playables. That's always cool.
Yes, you have like cards that have effects when you spawn them with it.
Yeah, that's also like a nice like benefit of this effect. But I don't think you're gonna be using it that often, honestly.
I mean, also using this means you can easy crash usually, which sets it up for like on reverse.
Yeah, if you ditch 2 though, I don't know. Do you usually have 2 cards you can ditch at that stage of the game? It's usually stuff you've already searched.
It depends. Well, you drew it for the turn, so
yeah.
I think often you'll have to catch it.
It's like a very marginal brainstorm ability, I'm pretty sure. Shiho Kitazawa, fully filled with feelings. On play, draw 1, and then choose an opponent's character, and that character gains no events or backups during battles involving the card. Then experience, when the pants is placed in the climax zone, if this card is in the front row and you have another copy of this card in your level zone, you can shuffle back 3 cards from your opponent's waiting room into their deck. And this gets 2k power for the turn. So this card...
You can play this card just for how much play.
Yeah. The first effect is well worth playing like 1 copy of.
Yeah.
That's for sure. As a finisher, this is best combined with other sources of damage, like 3/7 event. Ooh.
Yes.
And
usually
generally
finishers suck because the opponent can just play around them by not having a waiting.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes. I think though the 3/7 the 3/7 event pushes like the damage just high enough in your turn, such that this becomes like fine to play. Because you also get that additional ceiling of like randomly just winning because your opponent could not play around this for whatever reason. They didn't have enough stock, or they didn't have the cards to mill through their deck in time, right? Sometimes it's just win because...
Yeah, sometimes this card just auto-wins you the game.
Yeah, which is valuable, right? Ceiling is ceiling.
Yes. And the thing is that the event usually creates a waiting room for you.
That's also true. Like if they're 2, like level 2, for example, they're high level 2, and they just refreshed, right? Even if they could, under normal circumstances, this card would be trash, right? In any other deck. But with the 3/7 event, you basically put their clock into their bin.
Suddenly you just win the game.
Yeah, it's like pretty good in that situation. Yeah, I mean, this is like a fine card. It's a solid card, honestly. I think this is better than the Chihaya, honestly. If you're gonna pair this, if you're looking for like a finisher to pair with the 3/7 event,
it's a lot better than the Chihaya. And the main reason for that is honestly the come into playability.
Yes. This also doesn't need to reverse.
Yes.
Which is also like a big benefit of this card, honestly. I think that's one of the biggest benefits.
Always works.
Yeah, this is always gonna. Doesn't always work, but like it's much harder to create scenarios where this won't work than it is to create scenarios where your Kotoha won't like.
It also shuts cards off like
refresh counter,
money counter, refresh counter.
Yeah.
And what's also relevant is that if you play this alongside the Ancestor Restand, they also can't do anything to that.
Yes, that is also very true. Yeah, I mean, this is just a solid, very, very solid card.
And you might think draw up to 1, like draw 1 is not that much big, but because of Tamaki, you have a lot more reach than just the 1 card.
Yeah. I like this card.
Yeah, I hated this card initially, but I've come around to it a lot.
Wow. Falling for the idol girl bathwater, huh?
Yes.
Disgusting. Yeah, I'll give this a B+. I like this card. Next card.
Context makes the card.
Julia, Oath of the New Year. On play, search your deck for your music character. Add it to your hand. And then at the end of this card's attack, notably, is this right? Is this right? I guess it is right because it's costed very appropriately. At the end of this card's attack, you can, if you have another Mizuki Brainstorm and this card is in the center slot, you can pay 3 ditch 2 to swap this and a Tsubasa healer in your back row. So basically it's a restander.
Yes. Wherein
you get to attack with this Tsubasa in your back row. You get to attack with the Tsubasa those in your back row. This can be done next turn. It's actually really cool. You know, this card like puts itself out of harm's way to be reused next turn, right?
Yes.
And it's a healer that you're doing stuff with, so you get to heal usually the turn you use this effect.
Yes.
And it's like, you know, obviously it's reusable,
and this
but like
also searches like
the
healer.
And this also searches the healer. It's a very cool, you know, set of cards.
The thing is,
unfortunately,
that the healer requires you to discard.
Yes.
And this also requires you to discard too.
Yes. So it is not compatible with the 3/7 event usually. Yes. That is the problem. The cost also makes it look. The cost also it's also very costly. That's another thing that's going against this card. Yeah. Additionally, the brainstorm also does not synergize with the event either. None of these cards are red.
You need a red character.
None of these cards are red. So this is really cool. Unfortunately, it just does not work with the best card in the set. So,
yes. I tested this a bunch at the event, and it didn't end up working out. Like you were always missing a card in hand.
Makes sense.
Do the full thing.
That was happening to me too when I tried this card. It's like a fine card. Yeah, I really don't want to say this is bad, which is why I'm giving a C+ rather than a C or C-.
I don't think this is a bad card.
It's a very, very serviceable card.
In the best shell.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately.
So this is not the card you need for the Exodia, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. She's not part of that unit, dude. Come on.
Then why does she combo with these two? I don't get it.
What?
Because the other two are part of the Exodia thing.
So that was the song, right?
Oh, okay.
They perform that song together.
Okay.
Yeah. Momoko Suo, party together. If there are 2 or fewer climax cards in your bin, this gets -1 level, so it's an early play. Then check top X on play, where X is the number of music characters you have. Solid early play, I guess.
Very useful.
Better than the Yukiho, probably. You know.
Yes.
I'm just gonna put that out there.
Different purpose, right?
different purpose, but I think generally this is like better on your early plays. Yeah. Honestly, this sustains you. This is sustain play at level 2, and so it serves double duty as your like best way to get climaxes into your hand for the decks that need climaxes.
Yes.
Yeah. Other than that, you have anything else to add about this card? I think it's like pretty simple. So.
Yeah, I think if you run like Kotoha, you play this.
Yeah.
And if you run Shiho, you don't really need this.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that. Julia, Rocking Idol. All your characters gain on reverse bottom.
Yeah, no. This is like not.
No. No. Never.
Okay, so imagine this.
Oh my god.
You have like 2 cards in deck.
Sick play, dude. Why don't you just play one of just
climax.
Dude, just play one of this, obviously. Play one of this, obviously.
Yeah.
For a sick play.
Sick card. You can summon the
dude, this dodges clock kicks, man.
Oh. Broken.
Shizuka Mogami.
English card kept the Sakura clock kick.
Shizuka Mogami, single-minded girl. 2-1 counter. It's a 4K counter if you have a 2 or more flower stand memory and a 2/5 counter otherwise. This is like the mildest form of like printed synergy. Honestly, like they could have done like something wild, right? Like
they could have probably given it 2/5 extra power.
I mean, they could have like done something cool, like cheap refresh. Like say like it's like a pay 1 refresh if you have 2 or more flower stand memory. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
sick. Cool. That'd be like really sick. But this is just like a very boring printed synergy. Actually, in the flower stand decks, you actually have very little reason to play for power. So.
Okay, so like the synergy would be that you use this to protect the Serika early play and then get the
too bad. Nice. You have a 2/0 4K count.
Yeah, 2/0 4K. Pretty good.
Yeah, dude. Broken. Busted. 2-1 Shiho Kitazawa. Cool stoic. Anti-change bomb deck. Bomb. And more flower stand synergy on play. If you have 2 or more flower stand, you get to pump a character 50%. This isn't the same set as Yu-Gi-Oh! I just like to keep reminding people about this.
Isn't this better than Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
Oh, not Yu-Gi-Oh. The Ami or Mami.
Mami only in flower stand decks. And only if you have 2 of these.
Isn't bottom deck better than
stock?
Stock.
Yeah. I mean, that's like super.
I guess it's not always better.
It's not always better. It's like the removal part is what counts.
Yeah.
I think clock is the best if you want to talk about stuff like that, right?
Dude, my opponents always cancel when they're at 2-0.
Oh, okay, dude.
Triple cancel.
Good, dude. It's a anti-change bomb. Whatever.
Yeah. You played for the
synergy
which
is really boring. It's super boring. Ryo Momose, sexy older sister, 0/0 power. On attack, if you have 1 or few other characters, you can mill the top card of your deck. If it's a level 0 lower character, you put it in your back row. Cool. And then on reverse, mill 2. If there is at least 1 level 2 or higher card among those 2 cards, you may put this in your stock. Sweet.
I don't know why this is a common.
I like this card.
Complexity common.
I really like this card. I think it's like a very serviceable like half plus when you play it at level 0. I like the stock effect, like as like a sandbag card later, and sometimes at level 0 it'll just give in the transition to level 1 it'll get you extra stock, which is also honestly pretty nice.
It's this weird combination of.
I think this is a much better combination of
stock.
Yeah, I think this is a much better combination of, random-ish effects than the opposite is. That's just my preference. I find the potential +1 and the potential stock to be a better combination than memory and potential stock.
But the memory part stays relevant where
the memory part is like barely relevant all the time. It's like doesn't do anything. You're not even playing for memory. Yeah, one card compression.
But if generally you do get three houses in there.
If you're playing 3 houses, wait, you can't get 3 houses in there. Wait.
No, it's 2 or less. 2 or yes. Oh. So you can get 3 in there.
Okay, you're playing 3 houses, dude.
I was running 4.
And you're attacking with them? I mean, I played that card too. It just didn't do anything, so I took it out.
Yeah, it's like...
You know what's sick? This card with Clean Cut. Hoo.
Yes, like same as the Anniversary.
Yeah. I mean, you get multiple... You not only you get multiple shots at the +1. It's pretty... Yeah. It's pretty funny. Are you going to rate this card? I'm going to make a C+. I like it.
Maybe even C+. Seems about right. I think this card is. I ended up cutting it, but like I can see the appeal.
00 Tomoka Tenkubashi, Affectionate Maria. Discard a book from your hand to the waiting room at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase to choose a character, and that gains 4k for the turn. Then pay 1, rest 2 to check top 3, add a music character, and add it to your hand. Second effect is good. First effect is absolute garbage.
Tap 2.
We talked about tap 2 earlier. This one's slightly better because it's mill 3, but it's still just not good enough, I think, for tap 2.
Yeah.
So,
I tested with this at the start, but the tap 2
decent, but not good enough. Yeah, it's just not good enough. Next card.
Best character.
Roko, Fantastic Girl. 1k backup, and when you use this backup, you can ditch a card to salvage this back. This fucking sucks. It's 1k power, big whoop.
It's 2k power because of the Roko backup.
Nice one. But your 2k backup could have been 3k power.
Maybe.
You're never running this card. Seriously?
I don't know.
If you're rating the 2k counter lower because there's like nothing to defend, what is the reason to play this card?
Wait, I wasn't rating it 2k counter.
Oh, you weren't low. Okay, you weren't. I mean, we talked about how there's like very little reason to play for Veal in this deck. It's just like this is like even worse than the 2k counter. I don't know. It's just not very good. Maybe if the 1k power were like up to twice per turn, it'd be kind of cool. But it's only once per turn, I'm pretty sure. I think. Yeah, it's once per turn. Non-bow.
It's like... It ensures that you always have a counter.
No. It ensures that you always have a second counter.
Oh, sure.
1-0 Momoko Suo, Lovely Senior. If there's a marker in this, it gets 2k. And then... Oh, this is like a Futaba level 1. D, I think. There's like slightly more play to this because you can choose to not marker the character you reveal. But honestly, it's just like a very marginal thing, part of the card.
5-card Brainstorm.
Yeah, 5-card Brainstorm. Wow. It's alright. Maybe slightly better than the other 6/5s.
Better than the other 6/5s,
but not. Yeah, it's just like fine. It's like whatever. Chizuru Nikaido, Celeb Stirred. What the fuck? Celeb's Sturdy? I don't. 1-0-45. At the beginning of your draw phase, if you have no other characters in the front row, this gains 4k power for the turn. This is Hanakor. This sucks. This sucks.
Yeah.
Never run this. Ayumu Maihama, Dancing Star, 1-0-45. All these 1-0-45s. On reverse, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level 2 or higher, you may return this to your hand. This is not worth playing, but, it's like... It's better than that last card, for sure. It's just not big, right? It's just like it's too small to do anything useful.
Yeah.
Like compare this to Mari, right? And like the differences are like so painfully obvious. It's just not a great card. So don't run it. 1/1 Subaru Nagayoshi, Baseball Girl. This ability activates up to twice per turn, huh? When you use a startup, this gains 500 times the number of other music characters. So the sick play is to use Roko twice on your other lanes, and this becomes, 10-5. Amazing synergy. Amazing.
If you field 3 of this.
Sick, dude. Wow.
Sick.
Amazing. 2/1 Tsugumi Shiraishi, 2 Serious Girl. Pay 2 on play to reshuffle your deck with your Whittier. And then when you use a startup, this activates up to 1 per turn. Choose a music character and it gains 25 for the turn. So we talked about, costless cards with 2 stock effects being like decent, too good. Level 0 versions of this card with this effect are like okay. They're fine.
I don't even play level 0 versions. I think
they're fine. It's like fine, especially if they do something else. Unfortunately, when unfortunately, like when you add like 1 more stock to this kind of it just like crosses into this like stock threshold where stock cost threshold where it just becomes kind of inadvisable to play this kind of card, especially at level 2. Like you'd be playing this instead of an early play, I feel like.
Yes.
Which is
2/5 is a lot of power, but it's also kind of necessary.
This is also very small.
Yeah.
It's a backward card, but it's like not a very good one, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think it's just like a D at minus actually.
Okay, so but if you have this in the back row and then use the flower stand counter, Serika gets to like 16k.
Amazing, dude.
2/0 16k counter.
Amazing.
Yeah. 6/5 counter broken.
2/1 Megumi Tokoro, high school girl nowadays. Experience 5 or more, this gains 3k power, so it'll be 10k. And then when you play Climax, this gains on reverse top deck stock. So it's like Lucha, but without the parts that make Lucha good.
Yeah. It's missing the most important line of deck.
Basically yes.
And it also doesn't have like a 2/1, a 2/1, 2k.
Dude, you stand by, dude.
Yeah.
Obviously. Not that good.
It's playable.
Yeah, it's fine. It isn't even playable. It's just like not very good. Actually, nah. Okay, you know what? I think it's a C. Actually, it's like fine. The stock effect is like fine. I definitely think it's better than the other D cards there are. Maybe it's like a C- or something. But yeah.
The awkward thing about this with standby is again
What?
The awkward thing about this is again the experience, right? So you can't use it as your main.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Mizuki Makabe, my pace girl, 2/1 7,500 power. This ability activates up to once per turn. When you use a startup, this gains 500 times the number of other music characters, and then so it's like 9/5 base when you use a startup, like a backup. And then on reverse with the book, stock the top card of your deck. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 level 1 or higher cards from them. Add them to your hand, and then ditch the rest. So, this is the combo. This combos with level 1. Yeah, this combos with level 1. Unfortunately, it's like as Christian said earlier, it's generally not advisable to play a card like this if you're looking to play a combo at level 3 that reverses cards. That said, I think this is like a pretty decent payoff for running the level 1 combo, right?
Yes.
It's like a very fine bridge play. This is like an example of a level 2 combo that's like very much worth it, because the opportunity cost of running the climax is like absorbed by your level 1 combo.
Also being your level 1 class.
Yeah. So this is like a fine card. I see nothing wrong with this card, assuming that
I think it just doesn't have like a shell that it really wants to go into.
I mean, you could put this in like 10 event, right?
You could.
You could easily. I feel like that's definitely possible. And like,
I feel like 10 event also kind of want to limit their level 2 stuff. Because of Tamaki.
I mean, it's like whatever. It's like marginal. It's like marginal effect. It's like a marginal effect, right? I think the payoff is possibly well worth it. It just depends on like, how long you think you'll be. Like, it's like, I think this is good. This is like a fine card if you're running the level 1 Climax combo. It's like a very, very fine card. Especially since it can get events as well. That's like, to me, that's like, super solid. If you like, imagine getting like Spark Drink plus something else, right, off this. It's like pretty good.
Blank charge 3 on reverse.
Yeah, dude, sick. Especially this deck. Come on, man. Lesson Ticket. It's a counter. It's Torch. So look at the top 4 cards of your deck and search for a music character. Add it to your hand and put the best in the bin. And then put this in the bottom of your library. And it's a counter. So, it's battle phase mill or main phase mill. Unfortunately, there's no bond for this.
Yes.
So
if there was a bond, this would be very interesting.
Yeah, there'd be like, I think there'd be a lot of choices that would have to be made actually between like this and Flower Stand.
Yes.
But as it is, I don't think this is better than Flower Stand, unfortunately. Interesting card though. I think
these
like
milling counters
are very good. They're very good. Yeah.
Yes, because not only do they have like battle phase mill, also has the utility of like
it's modal. Like it's modal in the best way.
Yeah, they have printed like a second Mocha, and they might actually print this effect more often.
Yeah.
So that's become a relevant thing.
But yeah. Solid, very, very solid.
No, I think because this have a bond, it's playable.
I give C to like a regular GIS camera. I'm giving a C plus because it's a counter. It's fine. Awakening item, Fairy. This is another event counter. This can't be played if you have no blue characters, and this is money. This is a money. It's a 3/500 money counter. Yeah. Not necessarily to the same characters. So
yes.
But yeah, this this blanks damage dealt by a character for the turn, and then you give 3,500 power or something.
This blanks an on reverse finisher and puts you out of range of another.
Yes. Right? Yeah. Unfortunately, this is 4-stock, so which is.
Yes. 4-stock
much
to be unplayable.
Like it's actually a lot more problematic than you think than 3-stock, and that's mainly because
you generate 3-stock.
Yeah, because you can't generate enough stock. If you bottom out on stock, you can't generate enough stock to play this, which is unfortunate. Yes. As it is like it's like fine. I don't think this is like.
If this was a 3/3 that gave less power, if it was like Darkness Plan, it would be a lot better.
Yes.
Though I'm not sure if you would play it.
I mean, it's up for consideration. You'd definitely play it in like 10 event, right? Or you'd like consider playing it in 10 event. With like a Shiho, right? Because you generate 3 stock.
I'm much more comfortable.
I mean, in that deck, I would just run like 2, right? And then like sometimes you just get it off like your tools.
I just prefer going full all in on the combo.
I mean, this is just like an extra card you'd run. It's not even like your main game plan, but like it would just definitely be playable, right? Because even if you bottom out because like you just generate the stock and then like
I think there's like slot issues, but the card is.
I mean, it'd be worth finding the slots for, because like Shiho, you know, wins board for you, right?
Sure.
And you generate the stock, and she's blue. Like, there's just a lot. Like, there'd be a lot of reasons to like consider this card if this were 3 stock, but it's not. So, it's unfortunate.
Being a counter and having this clause is also like actually more relevant in the other events, because it's super easy to just play a random 0 to fill color, but it's harder to like keep the 0
on. Okay. Well, that was the last card of the set. We're finished with blue, and we'll be heading right back to you with the overview.